Hey all, it's Bishoy Tadros, author of Break Barriers, and I'm here to help you channel a mindset to overcome any of life's obstacles, whether personal, professional, on the playing field. I want you to walk away from all my videos thinking, if he can do it, then so can I. And I promise you that you can overcome it all. If there's one thing that life has taught me, it's that barriers are meant to be broken. Now, if you watch my intro video, you'll recall an admission that I made, and I have to remind you of this. There's absolutely nothing special here. I really never felt any more skilled or qualified than my peers, whether it was academically, professionally, athletically, as I've gone throughout my life. Deep down, I felt like I had a story to tell, but never in my wildest ambitions did I declare that I was going to become an author. And I certainly never envisioned that I would be putting together this channel. And I even questioned who would want to buy my material, right? I'm just a regular guy putting stuff down on paper. When I decided to write the book, I had to Google how to write a book. I had no idea then, and admittedly, I continued to learn along the way today. So, for today's episode, I'm going to focus in on mentorship. And when I talk about mentorship, I mean it in its most authentic form. I think it's fair to say that most people who take on mentorship roles have excellent intentions. But similar to any other role in life, there is a status quo. So, let me clarify. As I elaborate, when I think of a true mentor, I think of a servant leader. As simple as it might sound, a servant leader's role, or their main function, is to serve their subject. You're not there to literally cater to you, but rather to empathize with you, to offer foresight, to persuade you to be the best version of yourself. Did you just say persuade me? Yes, you heard me right. Sometimes we need to seek out the person who can genuinely look you in the eye and tell you that whatever it is you want to accomplish in your life, you're not crazy. And by all means, you should actually aim higher. That person, they need to carry an air of positivity and an intent to be an ignition to your dreams. You need to think about finding the person who is going to light your flame. A servant leader is not one to just hand you an instruction manual, but rather to acknowledge that you've known the path all along throughout your life's journey and the experiences that you've been through. They're there to tell you to keep it going, to stay zoned in. They're going to offer you grounded assurances that although your journey doesn't have a roadmap, that you've been going in the right direction by learning along the way. Keep learning. The learning never stops. It's crazy to grasp sometimes, but life just isn't as mapped out as we believe it is. There are twists and turns, and for better or for worse, it's how you handle those detours that's going to score your personal resilience. Your servant leader will be able to identify that as they empathize with your ambitions. They'll be able to sniff out your inner strength, and they'll never push you harder than you're meant to go. They have a really good radar. I'd argue that a majority of people who don't achieve their dreams, it's because of one major setback. They reject themselves before giving it their all. They question the reality of their vision, second guess the steps ahead of them. Deep down, we become so self-conscious around the universe rejecting our dreams that we begin to question the possibilities. The difference between your typical mentor and my definition of a servant leader is that the leader will quell that fear with their attitude, their energy. They're going to leave no doubt that regardless of what the world thinks, you're capable. You can get that job, that promotion. You can run that race, write that book. You can make history. I can't emphasize how difficult it might be to find this mentor. I personally went 30 years with many really quality people to lean on, good-intentioned people to offer up guidance and advice. But when I finally found that servant leader, my whole universe shifted. I finally felt free and empowered to create my own path. Back in 2017, I was going to share my story with the world for the first time. I was holding on to the ups and downs of a childhood taken away by cancer and an overwhelming feeling of loneliness as I navigated life's obstacles as a kid who just struggled to fit in. I carried those experiences with me throughout my entire life, and I applied the lessons I learned to navigating my social life, my career, even my fitness. I was seeing success, but I was burdened by holding on to my story. I wanted the world to know that comebacks are possible, that moments of weakness instill strength, and most importantly, I wanted to reach out to anyone who needed the inspiration to believe that if I can do it, then so can they. I wrote down my story on a one-pager. I titled it, "The Comeback is Always Greater Than the Setback." I wrote it out for the first time and it felt therapeutic, but doubts crept in. All right, sure, you wrote it. Get it out of your system, move on. I closed the document, I put it away for a couple of weeks. I had recently built a professional relationship with a gentleman who had an indescribable vibration. He was much older than me, but he had that positive energy of a child who believed that just anything was possible. He had been pretty successful in his own right, and so clearly his attitude paid off, and I noticed. Anyway, after building up the courage to transition our relationship from professional to personal, I asked him, I said, "Will you look at this one-pager?" He agreed. He was pretty giddy. I don't think he knew what to expect. I handed it to him. He held it close to his glasses, his grin got bigger, he started to laugh a little bit, and he asked me, where was this going to be shared? And I told him I was going to share it because I was going to fundraise for my first marathon. He asked me how much was I looking to raise, and I said $3,000. He stopped, and he looked at me and he said, "Bishoy, you better make that $100,000. Now, here I am 3 years later. I'm on YouTube, And that one pager is now my book, Break Barriers. And across all the efforts since then, there has been nearly $100,000 donated to charity through my mission. All because this one gentleman believed in me and persuaded me to believe in myself. Since then, and to this day, I find comfort in knowing he's a phone call away. And I smile because he had the foresight of this journey that I doubted in myself for years. I hope this message serves as a guidance to you all to understand that your servant leader is out there. You may not find them early on, but be patient. Keep an eye out for that vibration of positive energy, that reassurance that you're not crazy, and most certainly that your goals are within reach. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'm excited to carry on with you to help you channel the mindset to breaking your barriers. Thank you.